In this video, let's see how I do the harvest on my farm to get ready for the market and for selling. We've already stated our goal in previous videos. Videos in this playlist, so each episode covers a topic about how we manage the farm. It's about stabilizing those 4,000 to 5,000 euros per month in vegetable sales. Of course, it's a figure that changes depending on the season and a series of dynamics. Today I'll show you all the little tricks and all the different things I put into action during the harvest to achieve that result. Hello to all the farmers, I hope you're all well. Today a video dedicated to the management of my farm. We've been talking about it a lot lately. Today I'll show you how I harvest the vegetables, how I manage more or less a day of harvesting. So let's go to the field this morning when I actually did the harvest for the market. All right, let's go do some harvesting. Let's start with the cabbage. Let's take 2. For the cabbage, it's simple. You take your hands, press them down on the ground like this, and then go in with the tip. And it's done. By doing this, you see, it comes out perfect, saving time. So I'll show you again that this is the result of years. You identify the bale, hands around it, press, a firm hit with a little knife, so in the morning they break, you cut with the tip and detach. It's as if it has a neck. I know it's brutal to say it like that, but that's the sound it makes. We're taking 2 because we've already picked up some others. If there are at least 6 kilos of stuff here, then I need the Brussels sprouts. I'll show you. But we're still behind. It still needs a moment. You see they're developing. Look here, they're almost developed. I'll show you what we're going to do with the black cabbage, even though we've already harvested it. More or less, the routine is always the same that we're gonna do. We try to keep the routine consistent so that we waste less energy. Less energy means you have more budget because you optimize the work. So generally, we go to the plants that are still clean and we go for a clean cut. When you do it on kale, unfortunately, you have to wash yourself every time. This morning it's 5 degrees. It's a bit chilly, but we chose this job, which we do with joy as well. We don't over prune the plant. Usually you can use rubber bands and already have one on. For me, this one is a bunch. Now I won't take any more because I've already taken about 10 bunches. I'd say we're good for now. The cart, I'm using this one, which is electric. It's great because when it gets muddy, it's easier for me to move, though it's not ideal for going through the rows. Here you could use a wheelbarrow. This is actually an unnecessary path. It kind of goes against what I told you earlier. Now jump over here and let's go to the fennel. I'll show them to you and show you how I pull them up. Let's go see which fennel are good. For now, I usually pull this one up with a knife too. I don't clean them here with the serrated knife because if I clean them here, then all the dirt stays here. That's not good. I've already pulled up some. Then this morning we had fewer crates than usual, so our work is a bit lighter too. But we'll have a full load with the restaurants. They ordered a lot this week, so we'll have to balance it out. So look, I picked my fennel. Come on, let's clean them right away so I can show you how we do it. In recent years, the farm has changed its face many times. That's because things change, situations change, the climate changes, and so the farm has to prosper and grow more and more. I'm going to cut it on top like this. Now what you're seeing is how we go about selling. You should, but then there's no should. But how do they sell everything? As you can see, we have a lot of greenery. We have the sheep. Why throw things away? I'm sorry if you're growing them in your garden, but please don't throw this stuff away. Try cooking it. And when you sell this stuff, people aren't fond of having it, unfortunately. It's rude. Yes, I mean, the problem is that later, if you have a space like that for your fridge, right? So if you can't use it up, you have to throw it away. Basically, all the problems with organic waste. So we also want to have a less wasteful society, but we've created a system that's a bit impossible. I understand people, so we clean it for them and give everything to the animals so nothing goes to waste. This year, the garden is beautiful, productive, and thriving just how we like it. Very productive, some amazing things are coming out. Look how beautiful this is. Young lady now, let's put it in the water. We'll give this one a quick rinse so you can take it home. All this happens without soil, but this water step is crucial because if there are any little snails, the snails and insects tend to come out, so you won't find them later. The customers at home. What can I say? Everyone loves natural things and all that, but I see that the fear of snails is the thing people mention to me the most. I found the insect, I found the snail. Ma'am, it is what it is. So I totally understand that anyone could be grossed out. We give them a little bath here now. At first we use the hose on them. Just water. Actually, we saw that with the little bath, it works better, especially now that we put it in. And I go to do the harvesting again, and while I'm harvesting, he doesn't get wet. He just stays there. And this stuff brings good results. Black cabbage doesn't need it, but we still give it everything. When we pull up a radicchio like this, we put it to drain. Let's not be sneaky, or it gains weight. The vegetable. Can anyone tell me it's ugly? This fennel might be ugly, but the vegetable has to be good. My customers come. By now, even the chefs are attached. When they taste it, they come back. That's what matters to me. Now, just to remind you, we do field sales on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then Wednesday is the day we dedicate to restaurants. So we go and do all the harvesting, a more specific harvest, because we have to prepare certain quantities. And above all, the chefs ask us for certain things. For example, with fennel, we select the root, the top part, and the heart, which, however, we don't do for private customers. So we've grouped everything together a bit. And as you can see, so this is the way we manage it. We're also having problems with the cauliflowers because they're all ready quickly this year. This year the temperatures are really high. Even though you saw me say it's cold, the temperature dropped. Yeah, now with the sun it's nice. This morning when I arrived it was 3 degrees, but then we switched to 20 degrees. So this stuff here makes cultivation optimal. Even here I go in head first. They're big and you can harvest them. The ones that go to give them a clean cut, yeah, careful your fingers. They're done. Look at that. Spectacular. Even in this case, here we don't care. We take the little cart and I go through here without ruining anything. We already try to clean up a bit so we leave less behind for the animals. Watch your fingers. We'll just remove a few leaves, otherwise people get nervous. Watch your fingers. Cauliflower is ready. Then here, you usually look for and prefer the bigger cauliflowers. We want to understand, let's say I already took a look yesterday. So this one is good. So more or less, I already realized what we had in the field and where we had it. I noticed that the white variety is a little bit behind, and this yellow one actually is a variety from our area, a bit more. But it's also wrong to say pleasant. The problem, you know what it is? People make a huge mistake. With all cabbages, they blanch them. And when you blanch cabbage, you're making a cabbage steam bath. So the cabbage stinks. And so there's that unpleasant cabbage smell in the house because it soaks into everything. So you don't buy cabbage or you get it frozen. Now, if you bake the cabbage, so you take it as it is, throw it in an air fryer or put it in the oven. It won't make that smell. There's the scent of cabbage, but not that strong soup smell in the house. And so you eat cabbage, which is really good for you, without having any problems with cabbage. Now the cart is pretty full. Everything might fall out. Let's go unload, quick shower, and then we'll come back and start again. We never pick up so much stuff at once because usually we have 3 rounds. On Tuesdays we prepare all the crates. Today there are quite a few. In the crates everyone puts in what they want, so it's a kind of reservation. Then, once the crates are arranged, we go see what's missing on the counter and we go restock it. After setting up the morning counter, we start planning for the afternoon counter. Once to optimize time, I used to go pick everything together. Now, as long as it's winter, this stuff doesn't matter much, but in the summer we lose out since we don't have a refrigerator here. In terms of quality, because you bring home a vegetable that's not so fresh, and on top of that, there can be days when fewer people come. And so we were left with unsold products that had to be thrown away, and that really bothered me. So we do these 3 rounds of collection, first because we don't have enough space to handle everything. Second, for freshness. And third, so we don't have to throw anything away. In this case, we're going to ignore the rule I gave you, which was to optimize time. Because there's a greater good, in my opinion, which is the freshness of the product. And waste, after everything else, as you can see, come on, Belinda Magna, look at how happy they are. She doesn't even eat the hay. Let's go get some more cauliflower because we're behind. These are all turnip greens. It's my first year growing them and they turned out great. They kept telling me no, but instead I made it. I did a good job. I managed to do it and to make them look nice. Handling this always requires a lot of respect because what I'm handling here is not just a vegetable. This is food that someone is going to eat. And this will become something very intimate. There's my friend chef, Alberto Gipponi. Food is something intimate because if you think about it, besides being an act of trust, you're swallowing something that I made and I'm giving to you. I could even poison you. It's possible. But instead you're trusting me. He told me this. We rely on energy, which food provides. What am I doing? By giving you, handing you your future energy, you will assimilate what I am giving you. To live, to create new energy. Now, without going into vital energy, non-vital, and so on and so forth. But staying really basic, if you think about it, this thing is very, very intimate. So the way I see the vegetable as just a simple vegetable, that's one thing. The way I look at this vegetable, I try to respect it as much as I can, which shows I respect you. And you who will cook it. And this is really nice, and we don't waste anything, which is why I did it. A little more walking. Because if you notice, it's true that I took a couple more steps. But after removing everything, instead of cleaning it herself, I gave what was left to the animals. Let's go get the other 2 and then we'll go get the white cabbages. This variety is very beautiful. Very. It's giving a lot of satisfaction. I'll show it to you. I've already shown it to you. But it's beautiful. It has some purple shades. I think it was the bees. Usually with pollination. While harvesting, it's also time to observe the garden and see what works or doesn't. How to manage it. Let's pick a few more cabbages today. The goal is to fascinate people. We're letting the remaining eggplants stay on a few plants. This one has started. This should be in another video. Here is the eggplant's stem. It was a grafted one on the eggplants. I noticed that unfortunately the black ones aren't very good right now because they're getting a bit more bitter. You basically have to pick them by sight and target the right ones. But I have the white ones which are better at the moment. Wow, those cauliflowers look incredible. We took 2 and can get more if needed. Let's go get a bit of Fiolaro cabbage, this one too. Let's also pick some sprigs here. It's a bit of a shame that they're not known. And I say it's the Venetian answer to black cabbage, but black cabbage, to make our customers understand, it took almost 5 years. At first, they didn't get it, they didn't buy it, they didn't understand, they didn't want it. With patience, after 5 years, we managed to make them appreciate it. I hope it doesn't take another 5 years for the Fiolaro. Today, we've diversified the company. This is because we've just come out of 2 years of very turbulent times. Last year, the production was... We lost 30-40% of the vegetable garden. For sure, I also learned a lot of things in the meantime, but on the other hand, I realized that small businesses like mine anyway, which is still small, almost non-existent. Naturally, at the agricultural level, it needs to diversify as much as possible because otherwise we really feel the impact of any turbulence. So, as you can see, I prefer to make a couple more trips to the counter, also because this stuff here allows me not to get up. So early in the morning, once for Tuesdays, since we're always we've always been a bit stubborn about going to pick on the same day. The only limit can be winter. They might be ready on Monday. I've always liked giving the product fresh. Freshly picked, just harvested. Then you have a product that lasts much longer, especially in the fridge. This cauliflower, I just picked it. If a lady buys it now, in an hour it might last her a whole week in the fridge. That's the trick. Right now then, I used to get up very early in the morning to come and do everything. Why do we do a single harvest? Early in the morning, it's cold and hard to see, causing other problems. Doing 3 harvests lets me sleep in a bit. The weather is better and I work more efficiently. They asked me for 2 fennels with the root. It's an excellent solution. We're doing it with Michelin-starred chefs. It's not mainstream yet, fennel root, amazing. And here, you eat everything. One of the main criticisms you can make is about the snails. You see, we do the treatments. Anyway, no matter how many treatments you do and so on, unfortunately, some snails still get away. What I've kind of decided in my own silent way with myself is to reach a level that's acceptable. What does an acceptable level mean? It means reaching a point where you can find balance. You know, there are snails, you don't let them eat your crops, so you do the treatments, but you get to the point where even if there are a few, the costs and benefits more or less balance out. In my opinion, this is kind of the choice to make this time. On the other hand, I understand my colleagues. I mean, if I only grew chard in my life, or only lettuce, clearly starting to say the 5% of the harvest, basically, I lose it. It starts to be a significant amount, especially with everything else that's extra. Keep in mind that the more animal population there is in your ecosystem, so I start to accept the 5% of snails. The more these multiply exponentially, because this is nature, so there are solutions. Yes, we always find a solution. No, I think costs and benefits balance out. How important is cultivation to you? What do clients want? How much energy can you give? And what are you willing to accept? What I've learned in recent years is to stop blaming people. So sometimes someone makes certain choices because they have good reasons. You just need to sit down and talk about it and understand in a way that isn't. Like I told you, some of my clients complain that there are snails. I said, get the salad from the supermarket. It's bad to say, but there's nothing I can do about it. The best way to wash our salads is simple. Take the salad. It's better if it's already cleaned, but you can do it even without that. Hold it with both hands by the head. Go down, lower it. Then turn it up when it's down. So the bubbles come out, so they clean it and you lift it up. That's the movement. This prevents breaking the leaves. And then you take the lettuce, turn it upside down, and let it drain like this. This way you have your salads that are basically washed and perfect. Look, I'll show you. You give it a little clean, at least you can already remove the leaves that aren't good. If you see any snails or insects, you take your salads and let them soak. Like in this case, since there were snails, I saw some droppings, but you see, without using any special techniques, I saw that it's the best method to wash them and get a spectacular result. Also, they're a bit huddled up now, so they fit well inside the basket. They drain before the customer arrives, so they've already lost the water and its weight. So it's a fair price, right? And you're all set, even if a small tuft remains later. They're also a bit smaller, but who cares? Sometimes I sell the smaller ones because people expect all of them to get big. After an overproduction, they bloom. So, you know, people who come here know that sometimes they take 2 lettuces instead because in the end, the weight is the same. In the end, giving you 600 grams of lettuce is the same, whether it's 1 bunch or 2. It doesn't change anything. The important thing is that the lettuce is good. Look at this one. See how beautiful it is. It's spectacular. The greenhouse has been a good discovery for us, always a battlefield because we make the most out of the greenhouse. This week we removed the tomatoes, fertilized, and will turn the soil. We're already transitioning. The peppers are still here. I can't figure out the production either. They're still flowering. But as you see, we have a steady vegetable rotation. I'm removing all the Swiss chard. Now we'll be short for about a week, about 10 days, because you see, new Swiss chard is starting to grow. This year I messed up the zucchini in the greenhouse because a frost hit. It ruined all of them, so much that I just let them go because we didn't have time to remove them. Why should they be removed? But sometimes you have successes, sometimes failures. And in addition, we're doing a series of experiments to understand what holds up well inside and what holds up well outside. Not all vegetables are suited for greenhouse growing due to its temperature fluctuations. This can cause some vegetables to bolt and flower. It's important for us to understand how a vegetable reacts, so we decide to grow it inside or outside based on that. It's no longer enough to just rely on the various tips that are out there. We need to see with our own eyes. I really need to understand for myself, because when I know the tool well, I go much, much faster. It's like driving a car. As you can see, now we're picking up some beautiful lettuces here. This one here is a variety. I'll show it to you. I'll also show you the flaw. The flaw is this damn thing here. So this lettuce has its pros. In the sense that it's beautiful, crunchy and all, but it has some small rotting spots. This one, if I grew it outside, it wouldn't last. It would either bolt or rot. What are we doing today? We'll clean it later, but we always clean it over there for the usual reason, and we keep the heart. But the nice thing is, Laticello, now I'll pick up about 20 of them for the crates, and then we'll pick up the others later. That way, this salad lasts longer. Plastic bag, always. Salad and vegetables go in the plastic bag. I did this stupid paper bag thing for years. Basically, the paper bag, when it gets wet, tends to get damp and stick to the leaves. This actually speeds up the rotting that happens. The plastic bag, on the other hand, is reusable, so let's not demonize plastic either, as long as we reuse it, recycle it, and so on. It manages to create an optimal level of humidity so the vegetable stays fresh longer. Ladies and gentlemen, try to believe it. If you look, my farm goes against the trend, against greenwashing. There isn't a single paper bag left. It's pointless to use paper bags if people just throw away both the bag and the produce. This is an even bigger shame than using plastic, since the real issue with plastic isn't recycling. If we want to be honest, or throwing it on the ground, well, that's goodbye. That could cut your hands. This looks like a battlefield. We removed all the Chinese cabbage, which for us this year was a godsend. It really saved our budget in a very positive way. Next year, it went down a lot. We have a row of second batch cauliflowers that should come up in January depending on temperatures. This year I'm leaving the peppers as long as they last. We have black cabbage and fennel that are in the second batch over there, fennel outside. Last year at the first frost I lost them all because the ice breaks them. So either you cover them, but it becomes a hassle for us to keep up with it. We struggle post-harvest. I prefer growing them in a greenhouse. Let's deliver. We heavily use the greenhouse, ignoring regenerative agriculture principles and rotation. So we really push them hard. With fertilization always natural, but it's always producing more or less. The only month when there's truly nothing, maybe January, but I'm not sure. Why? Because for us the greenhouse is the source of constant income. It means that in the colder months it gets pretty harsh out here. You can grow little or nothing, maybe cabbage. Maybe you can grow some Savoy cabbage, but not much. Onions, but very little or nothing. The greenhouse really manages to give us excellent consistency. And this thing here keeps the farm going. To do this, we add a lot of fertilizer and keep mixing it. It's continuous. It took me 3 years to reach that level and understand how to manage the greenhouse with the soil. After that, once I learned when and how to work it, the process, covers and fertilization. I produced some good stuff, but I have to tell you the thing that has challenged me the most in recent years in terms of cultivation has been greenhouse cultivation. Because if you don't know well, if you don't understand exactly what to put inside, it's a nightmare. It bolts, it goes to flower, it dries out. It does whatever it wants. But like this, now I'm happy. Many aspects still need further exploration. That's exactly why we're making series dedicated to each individual aspect. This one in particular is the series about the farm, which tells you how I'm managing my farm. Where does the budget we're going to use come from, and how are we going to manage all the new projects? So sometimes the best way to answer the questions you have is to go and watch all the different episodes from this year. You'll find a playlist that's dedicated exactly to this. So please, if you have any questions, ask them below in the comments. If you see that something escapes you, it's probably because in the other episodes that have already come out or will come out, the answer will be there. Hello everyone!